Hello, welcome back to another video. I'm joined again by JArkhamReviews.
Hello.
Today's video is kind of the main reason why we wanted to do this. This has kind of been 2 years in the making, and we're finally getting the video of what we wanted to do because we're very nostalgic people, and we had very similar experiences with the show.
Yeah.
In terms of merchandise and how we got into it. So I guess this is kind of our journey as a fan. So, where did you start? Where did you discover Doctor Who? Since the womb.
But I guess it's kind of been like casually watching it.
Yeah.
Then 2003, I think, was really into it because that was the year Doctor Who was announced.
That was
to
the
come back.
40th.
And that was just the start of it, really. First thing, my dad just comes home and was like watching this, and it was like one of those burnt CDs of Doctor Who and the Daleks. And we watched Doctor Who and the Daleks, and I was just completely blown away. The black one.
I'll get him out.
Yeah, the black one. And Doctor Who and the Daleks, I think it was just a perfect starting place for a child, because that's what it was.
I think that's everyone's first experience of those Hartnell stories is the Cushing films.
Yeah, and I think
everyone
it's a good way to get into them, because I think I'm straight into like sort of like the Daleks. It's a bit of a commitment.
Let's be honest. The Daleks are the thing what's main Doctor Who survive.
Yeah.
So
it makes sense to start with them.
Does,
That's like this special thing, and I think the year's Daleks, especially, just the way that they're so menacing, and the way that they're shot. Every pose of this looks so cinematic.
It does look like a little model of them.
Yeah,
you know, it's very good.
It very much is like one of the most accurate Daleks I think ever made, because they didn't just reuse the sculpt.
Yeah.
Instead, they actually made their own one. The neck bin, it's a little bit thicker. The back is much straighter. The way with the claw, it's fantastic.
Product Enterprise was the first merchandise to actually get an exact Dalek.
Yeah. Like Daypol, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it to bits. Not accurate though.
No.
Which isn't good for fans. Looking back, as I think some born after the Daypol era, I think it can look out with a certain... Actually, well, I guess Daypol's actually still going when we were around.
Yeah. Because I was going to go to the Daypol in Llangollen, wasn't it?
I think they kind of died around 2003-ish. Maybe with Corgi.
I think it was 2005-ish.
2005, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the Corgi kind of took it over a little bit.
I think Corgi took over. Well, yeah, I guess. It was kind of a battle between the three, because I think Daypol limped on it to the 2000s, who had the Millennium Daleks.
Yeah, that
kind
was...
of limped on.
I can't remember when they came out. It was about 2000, maybe a few after it.
Yeah.
But these ones, but just the big lights and the colours, I think is fantastic for a child.
Well, as a kid, you like things what are brightly coloured.
Yeah, and these models, I think they were announced in 2003, and they came out in 2005.
Shame they never did the Pyroflame one, because that was
it was
teased.
It was in a few magazines, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got a little image of it.
Little copyright 2005. Yeah, the photos that came out, I think it must have blown fans away back in the day.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I think the Doctor Who merchandise sounds like an article from
I think my first experience of a Dalek was going into like a collectible shop, and you know the Daleks they have in the Mr. Bean nativity scene?
Oh yeah.
They had that, and I remember asking, what are these?
Oh, it's the Louis Marks one, isn't it?
Yeah, it must have been one of those. And I was like, what are these? Like, oh, this is a Dalek. And they kind of, like, when you hear Dalek, it is ingrained in your mind.
It's mystery, isn't it?
Yeah. You're just like, what is it? You know, and I was very curious about what the Sidemen sounded like.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, can you do the voice for me? Just because I was so fascinated by the monster voices.
And what happened after that?
And then after that, it came back. The show came back, and I remember, I mean, this is jumping the gun a bit. We were walking the dog in the woods, and I was like, there's a programme I want to watch when I was a kid. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it. And then as soon as I saw this blue box fly through this tunnel, I was just in awe. And when it finished, I was like, can we use that blue box to see next week's episode?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to wait.
Yeah.
There's something
that's
such a charm.
Cool. That's cool, the way that it captures like a child's mind. And I think that is the complete and utter appeal of Doctor Who, the fact that a kid can go and just think something like that of go and watch the next week's episode, and the fact that you can go anywhere. And I think for me it's all been all about the space travel. I think as you get older, you appreciate the historicals, and then they become a bit of a focal point.
I think you grow up with the historicals because you're learning about them in school, or you go back. Well, that's on the curriculum, so I'll go and watch a Doctor story involved in that. And
I think again that's what kind of Rose is going to be mentioned that in our Night Thoughts podcast video, just about. Still could be used.
It's going to be like Blackadder 4. I feel like Rose is going to be the new Blackadder 4.
Yeah, I really hope so.
I do, because it's
television.
great
it's not got
television.
a stigma.
No,
it's Doctor Who.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, it's. I think what I really captured in my mind was Unquiet Dead. I think that's jumping a bit forward actually past the Cushing films. But Unquiet Dead, I think that really got like the history aspect to me. I was like, wow, that's.
I couldn't
really
watch
cool.
Unquiet Dead.
Scary.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I would flick off and then I'd flick back on.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of my behind the sofa thing.
Yeah.
But nobody can get behind the sofa because you'll burn your ass because it's right by a radiator.
Exactly.
So it's kind of, I want to see what's happening, but it just scares me, and I couldn't watch that story for many years. Like me and my friend, said, right, we'll be big boys. We were about 9.
Yeah.
Like, let's go and watch. We've grown up now. Flicked it on as soon as she grabs her grandson's neck. We were out like a shot. We were out the stairs and we were like, Mom, can you turn the DVD off? It's scary.
That's fantastic.
Like we couldn't go in the room because it scared us.
Yeah.
We couldn't turn it off.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And it was only until I think 2013 when I could actually,
Yeah.
And it still scares me now.
Yeah.
Like I think the makeup on Unquiet Dead is really terrifying.
I think I was quite a brave child.
Really?
It was always like mundane stuff. I think that terrified me.
The Autons are terrifying. I think the first time I was scared of the Autons was Spearhead.
Oh yeah.
And people say, "Oh, I'm scared of Weeping Angels." Like, no, I'm not scared of Weeping Angels.
I missed that because I think that's like the only Doctor Who episode I missed, and I didn't actually see it until like a year later with the Sun gave out the DVDs. And I've got them all, from Spearhead to Earthshock to Rose, and then think it was Rose. Oh, there was a few like Skull Union and that.
Doomsday was there.
Doomsday was on Army of Ghosts. They were like they were risking news of the world for some reason.
They were.
Not the Sun. Which I think that's quite clever marketing for whoever thought.
Well, I think 2006 you had like the classic parts, didn't you?
Yeah. I got them, and then it went in 2007, and got the one for Blink. And I finally watched it. Attempted to. Saturday morning, put it on. Really enjoyed it. Up until the fucking Weeping Angel. It felt like 5 minutes.
Really? I don't like Blink.
Yeah,
I've never liked it as a kid.
What happened was the Weeping Angel appeared.
Yeah.
Straight off.
Straight off.
Which, to be fair, got quite in. I think, I think it was a very interesting episode. I quite liked it.
But yeah, going back to 2003, I'm very conflicting because I remember seeing Tomb of Cybermen for Doctor Who night, and I think it was like a thing John Coleshaw did as Tom Baker, and he made a joke, I've got to hurry, there's a parking ticket on the TARDIS, that kind of thing that John Coleshaw did. I remember seeing, you belong to us, that. I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was like, switch off, no,
that's cool.
And then I think it could have been UK Gold, it could have been BBC 4, I've said this in my Pertwee video. I remember seeing Spearhead and Ark in Space.
Yeah.
Which is rare because it's classic-y, but it makes sense because, the 70s was, shined upon on gold. They were, Pertwee was the UK TV gold.
Yeah, because I had UK gold, I think around 2006, Monster of Peladon. Yeah. I remember that actually being repeated a few times. I don't know. Maybe a couple of times, or maybe I just remember because it was on for 6 weeks consecutively. Yeah. But I completely, utterly remember Azek, and that I love Azek. Just these
best Ice Lord.
Best Ice Lord design. I think my absolute favourite Ice Warrior in general. To be honest, really? Ice Lord's Azek. I think he's I just think he's an amazing character. He's always been with me, like with watching that on UK Gold. Yeah. So I remember it on the telly at like 6 in the morning because I figured it must have been late in the morning. But no, I realised it was always on 6 in the morning, and I was a wee child. I'd be up at 5. And I'd be screaming with Daleks downstairs with my Corgi Davros tucking out of his chair, Lou Roll, Mate's Little Dome, Emperor from and I remember playing with him and the Daleks that turned on Davros, little Corgi Daleks, and my mum shouted down, "James, it's 6 in the morning!"
It's like, sorry.
Yeah, because
I'm having fun.
I was absolutely just into it, just screaming exterminator.
Yeah.
I think that's really what captures a child's
So
mind.
what was your first piece of merchandise?
First piece of merchandise. Oh Lord, it definitely...
Was it Corgi? Was it Product Enterprise?
Definitely a Corgi.
Definitely Corgi.
I
think mine was the Silver Dalek and the Cyberman. I think that's my first.
I think that might have been my first one, actually.
That was my first.
So actually, I'll tell you, it might have been the TARDIS and Tom. That little 2-pack. I had like 2 of them. And those are wonderful little sets, and they really captured my mind. As a kid, what happened was I watched Doctor Who and the Daleks, loved it. Dalek Invasion of Earth.
2150 or just
2150.
Yeah.
AD.
That's a video I want to do.
That's one we'll do.
With
these on camera discussions.
Yeah, I really enjoy these.
And Dalek Invasion of Earth 2150 AD, I watched every single day with T.
Yeah.
To the point that the DVD, I still have it. Do you know when you put it in the ring?
Yeah.
The actual CD, the actual DVD,
Jump tracks.
It's cracked around the plastic bit with no film on it, but you can still play it perfectly.
That's weird.
That's just how much I watched that. The fact it cracked, and I must have drove my parents absolutely insane.
I would do that with the theme tune on my mum.
Oh,
you know, like the new series volume menus, it would just have the theme on loop. Full bore, playing with toys, happy as Larry. Really enjoying myself.
That's cool.
And primary school, because the figures weren't a thing, because I didn't know the figures were like a massive thing back then. I had a teacher called Mrs. Bruce who was really into Doctor Who, and she really encouraged me to get really into it. And like literally, I think it was like one of those rainy days in your break, and like she was like, Doctor Who website. I printed off a load of the characters, and I made like them on cardboard, and they were like my little figures.
Yeah.
So I had like Eccleston and Slevine, and a cardboard TARDIS.
Yeah.
With the little corgi stuff.
I like that.
To keep me going until I got the
That's
figures.
like the imagination of a child, the fact that you can do something even with just paper and card.
Bubble wrap.
Yeah, bubble wrap.
Yeah.
I remember getting a bit of bubble wrap wrapping around someone's hand. And I don't know if I bother painting it green, but yeah, that was Ark in Space. I think I've done a Play-Doh as well.
But you, as a kid, you don't judge for classic series of special effects, and I've kind of followed that through now.
It intrigued me.
Yeah,
really intrigued me. I think I've always been classic at heart ever since before I even probably got into the classic series, because it was the Corgi stuff. Because after I went there in about 2004, 2005, I went to the Doctor Who exhibition in Blackpool. Absolutely, completely close to my heart. Absolutely loved that place so much. Oh my God, I was 9 when it closed. I cried.
Didn't it set a fire? I know one of them set a fire.
Oh, I don't think it set fire. I just think they was wanting to do plans for the Doctor Who experience, so they took away the licence, and then everything was auctioned off.
No, didn't it go to Earl's Court?
Not too sure, because I remember at the time it was said costumes were getting auctioned off, so maybe...
That was 2010, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2000... I don't know.
Because was it Bowman's, was it the auction? Because I remember like they had loads of stuff being auctioned.
It probably went to lots of different auctions, probably. True. And I think a few of them ended up in the experience. A couple of them. K1, that was in Blackpool. That is probably most likely the same one that ended up in the experience.
Probably Bessie as well.
Yeah, they had Bessie. That would be dragged outside on a sunny day, and outside you'd have the Doctor Who theme constantly playing, and probably switched it up, otherwise they'd go insane. But when I was there, it was always the classic your Derbyshire theme. You'd walk.
Would you say that's kind of influenced you with what your favourite theme tune is, or at all?
Oh no, McGann came into my life and just took me by the arse and
just carried it.
Yeah, and again inside the shop, Corgi, like
the whole sign for Blackpool was the Corgi packaging.
Yeah, it was, and that's what I think I really loved, because it had the TARDIS and the big Cyberman. That was always Airshock Cyberman. That influenced my favourite Cyberman.
I swear that's from Attack. That photo.
Is it?
Yeah,
I think it is. When I know
when they're on the desert.
Yeah, because I would browse the Doctor Who Classic website for hours on end, and that was a photo that
those are exciting with those little clips, and it'd take forever to download the clips.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like and it'd be like 30 seconds. Like I spent about 45 minutes downloading this, because computers were very slow back then.
Oh, they were.
YouTube,
every YouTube video was in
copyright was not a thing. Yeah,
copyright. Like people, I remember That's how I watched Claws of Axos in 2009 on YouTube. And
I watched most of Pertwee on YouTube.
Pertwee really captured my imagination. It's kind of entering like just toward the end of like the single number years.
It was like the Project Enterprise Dark Side kind of a red tinge, like a pinkish red dome lights, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
When they lit up.
It was very bright, but it was very nice, especially with the black Supreme. Your one's up there.
Yeah, mine's up there.
Again, accurate Daleks set us off right.
Yeah.
That's why we're always OCD about this is wrong.
Yeah.
This is wrong.
That red Dalek of that was my Emperor.
Yeah, what, the red one?
The red one, that was my little Emperor.
Yeah,
that was my Emperor.
All my boys.
Yeah, that was my Emperor.
Red one.
Yeah.
The best.
Christmas 2005.
Oh, I had it was like the 6-inch. No, it wasn't 6-inch. It was like a 10-inch Cyberman. That was my cyber. That's a Cyber King from
Nobody likes
Christmas
Cyber
special.
King.
As a kid, you think it's cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as a kid, you'd think it's cool, but that was quite fun to play with. And with your with the Cybermen, they just go black, don't they?
Yeah, but because it's just the paint so thin.
Why didn't they just sculpt them in that?
Mould them in that colour.
It's absolutely insane, and then you can just paint over it to give it like the
sheen.
Exactly. What a silly choice.
It is a silly choice.
Yeah,
because they've got to be some of the best figures from the new series.
Exactly. Oh, white at least, just so it's not as noticeable as black.
Especially the first release of them.
Yeah, the paint was so thin on them.
Thin.
They practically all black handlebars. So
more Cyberleader than Cyberman.
Than the Cyberman, yeah. As a kid, it wasn't until like the 2010. Oh Lord, getting the nightmare of getting the Cyberman for Earthshock.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I basically had my Christmas money, so it was like literally because there was a rumour of not K1, Crinoid. So it was like I'm gonna order them all on FP, and if there is a Crinoid, I'm set. No Crinoid. No Crinoid. And I remember being so gutted because Argos, every time they had a new catalogue, they would just get the merchandise like that.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't even be in the shops. Like it would be potluck what you'd get in Argos.
Yeah. I remember getting a few shitty figures.
Yeah, and then like seeing people with Wave, like Dalek Idea, he'd have like Wave 2, like he'd have 3 Earthshock Cybermen and the Ice Road, Morbius.
Zero Dr. Zero, Zero back in the day. Oh my god, he was all like, that was it. I remember just watching him after school and just seeing him like pull out like 3 Third Doctor sets.
Yeah. And the chase sets, he'd have like 5 of them.
I know, it was just like, what job do you have, man?
How do you do this?
Oh, he's a lovely chap.
I do love Zero Doctor Zero.
Oh, he never gets old.
No.
Absolutely fantastic collection. And Batman March. Oh, we're really skipping forward now. I guess we'll skip forward and back. Batman March, I think. I
feel like he is the inspiration for the majority of people who are on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like he is our generation's reason why we love Doctor Who so much.
And I think he'd guide you into the classic series a lot more. And that's what
I'd say so.
It'd introduce you to things, make you obsessed with things, making me obsessed with the Mara.
I think it'd make you pedantic. It'd make you really fuss over the little things, like quality control as a kid you don't care, but as soon as you saw his review and realised there was issues with a figure set, you would panic.
Yeah, when I was like 10, I'd record like little Batman March style reviews on my flip phone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did that in 2010.
Yeah.
They're lost in the void of time.
Well, you still got a few old ones up.
Yeah.
Absolute gold.
No, really not.
Meme gold.
No, not
got a few of the ones downloaded that you deleted just for your wedding video.
Just for me, yeah. But I think Christmas 2005 was great because it was the first time Doctor Who merchandise was a thing.
Yeah. I can't remember what else I got that year. I just remember the Dalek.
I got the battle pack.
Oh! I remember getting that off my dad's friend who got me that battle pack, and that was cool. That was really cool. I was a little weirdo though, so it annoyed me, the white, like, clear piece on the neck. That annoyed me. But it was quite fun to move them. They quickly broke, because I think they were just shit.
Well, I just remember, like, literally Boxing Day, all the Doctor Who stuff I got on Christmas was gone.
Yeah.
The walkie-talkies, gone.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean gone?
Like, literally, they were broken.
Oh yeah.
Not because of quality, but literally, They were just no good. Like, the amount of stuff people were sending back. Toys R Us was literally full of people saying, can we send this back? And I had an assault Dalek for Christmas from my granddad.
Yeah.
And I loved it. You know, every time I'd go to my granddad's, I would sneak up to his bedroom and I'd look at it. And I'd press the hemisphere and just be like, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for Christmas. Within, you know, half an hour of it being out of the box, the eye stalk came off. And those are the times when character didn't have the eye stalk, wouldn't go back in.
Yeah.
It was literally, once it's fallen out, you're not getting it back in.
Yeah. And my assault Dalek got off my nan Christmas 2006. Loved it. No idea where it is now. I just loved the claw because it reminded me of Movie Dalek. That was my Movie Dalek.
But the thing is, I had to settle for just a standard bronze Dalek when I took it back. So
bloody Argos.
Yeah, bloody Argos.
Oh, that's cool. They reimbursed you.
Yeah, it was just basically replaced.
When did the first Sonic come out? It was 2005, wasn't
2000, it? I got that for Christmas as well.
Yeah. I got that for my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. That was actually really sweet. It was the first birthday after my dad died, which is the thing. 2005 started me off on my Doctor Who journey. Batman March really, I think, took me on to...
It carried you.
Yeah, absolutely, completely. Yeah. After that, I found my way a little bit, and then Batman March, like, it's a whole world. How many? I remember 2009. I think...
Was that the year when you actually dived into the DVDs? Because when did you sort of go, right, I'm going to start collecting these?
I cannot remember with the DVDs. 2008, Bread for War box set, birthday, November. I'm pretty sure it was that. Might have been Nan's birthday. And I remember getting the 5 Doctors and the Bread for War box set because I...
What a selection to start off with.
I think prime selection, that. And I remember I was in my granddad's, got it from my granddad and my nan. And I don't know what made me pick them. I think I just looked through and
I saw the monster on the cover, probably.
Because I think the Sontarans came back. Do you know what it was? I know what it was. It was Khalid Master Mies and Auton Link 172 or whatever his name was back in the day. Yeah. It was their Through the Ages videos.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And that got me. That got me to Queen. Unfortunately, Auton 172. His child doesn't exist anymore. So the original ones, and I always remember the Sontaran Through the Ages one.
I really like Penny Mix Films.
Ooh.
When he did the figures as Blackpool Museum.
Monster. And it doesn't exist. Right. If anybody has like a link to the Monster videos by Penny Mix Films, where it was like, it would use what's that coming over the hills? Is it a monster? Is it a monster by the Automatic?
Very 2000s.
Every year, and it would use like the Christmas music when I woke up today.
Yeah, the Song for 10.
Yeah.
Song for 10.
It would always use them. And I have the third one. The third one because we found it. We spent like a weekend looking.
God, the Ultimate Guide. That's another.
Oh, we'll go into that in a minute. We found the third one on just a weird. I think I got it through the web archive, and through that somebody had archived it, and I think I just got that. Well, if anyone has a link to the first and second one, please send me that because those were my jam back in the day. That was bread and butter. That.
I first saw those on Doctor Who Toynet.
Oh.
That was my go-to website.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, the internet's a very broad thing.
And massive expanse into Doctor Who.
And it was kind of the first website I landed on because you type in Doctor Who toys and that was the first thing, and I've just become so attached to that. And later on I would join the forum. Not on it now, haven't been on it for about 7 years. Because it just crashed.
One of them still trotting along.
I think it's still there.
Gallifrey Base is still going, isn't it?
Gallifrey Base is a bit of an odd one.
Or was it? It came back and like it became a different thing and yada yada yada.
Yeah, no.
I think the original closed, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it closed, but it's back now, and nobody really talks about Gallifrey Base now.
No.
It's kind of just
it's moved to Facebook and Twitter now, I think.
Yeah, I think it's more social media based.
Yeah. With me, Doctor Who Classic website. I remember sitting through that. About 6 years old, looking through that.
Photo galleries was always
photo gallery, absolutely. And that absolutely captured me.
And the games back then were great.
Oh, the games on the Dalek one. I've never been able to get past level 3, even today. Never. It's when you get introduced to the bloody floor things. I try.
The little things will pop up.
Yeah, I still can't get past it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
How people have done it. You'd have the K9 one.
K9 was impossible.
No, that was so hard. I think the furthest I got was like I think it was like End of the World. I got to.
I just mix and match. I like doing the Slovene one the most. Like the Empty Child one, New Earth was impossible.
Yeah, there was like the strategy one with Daleks versus Simon. That was quite fun.
Yeah, that was an interesting. Like it was on the underground, wasn't it? Like they'd come out the tube and Simon.
and then it would progress, and like, you would do the battle in Torchwood. And there were other ones. There was the TARDIS one that was released in 2007, I think.
Do you remember the advents they used to do? And like we'd have a game like Dalek Breakout was one of the advent games they did.
Dalek Breakout,
where you had to move the barrels into place and then you could move on.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a fun one, wasn't it?
That was a good one.
All these little games. I was done about in 2007. It's when you move the curse and the TARDIS moves through, and you have to get through the green one and then the red one.
Oh, the spaceship races where you literally raced all the spaceship from the new series.
No, it was like you'd be in the TARDIS and see how far you could get, and you have to go through the green one.
I always kept on going like Tudor England.
My one was Family of Blood.
Yeah, or 42. That's one I normally ended up.
And Family Blood was the furthest one I would ever get, and still today, because it's quite far in.
Yeah.
I just, it's always that one. With the Doctor Who Classic website, I think what really captured me was it's the home screen, and it's got all of the
gold,
Doctors.
Yeah, the gold.
And I loved it. It's still up as an archive site. Never take that down, BBC. You saw the 8th Doctor.
Yeah.
And the 8th Doctor.
Bearing in mind, the 8th Doctor wasn't canon then. It was his own little thing back then.
Yeah. It wasn't until Human Nature, I think, that it was all over like Doctor Who Adventures. Who is the 8th Doctor and DWM.
That's when we started getting like fact files on each Doctor. Like each issue would be about a Doctor.
Yeah. And it was massive, and the shit on it. I distinctly remember an issue of just who was the 8th Doctor, and had like the thing from like the page.
Yeah.
From the journal, and that was amazing. Unfortunately, the photo gallery was a bit, but what really captured me was the 60s with Troughton, because he really was a monster Doctor, the Underwater Menace. It still peeves me on the DVD; they're not orange, because I'm probably the cover's right.
Yeah.
But I think as a kid, the Fishmen was yellow and orange in the colorization. Loved that.
They look like Bertie Bassett's.
No, they do. They do. There's the way it's kind of puffy in the eyes. Macroterror captured me. The Daleks from Power of the Daleks.
The photo novels, they were great.
They were fantastic.
Lovely photo novels.
Ice Warriors, Pertwee, Axon.
With Delgado.
And the big-headed Autons from Terror, which I always thought was a 7th Doctor villain for some reason. I
suppose they look more 7th Doctor than 3rd Doctor.
They were Auton story with the 7th Doctor. I don't know, as a kid it just always 7th Doctor.
Yeah.
I think it was
Big Finish, get on it.
I know, yeah. 7th Doctor and Autons.
Yeah.
They probably do the wrong tone, make an overly campy season 24 story.
No, I don't want that.
Not to be all on that. But that website was just fantastic. The tennis game.
Top Trumps, that was good.
Yeah, Top Trumps.
You discover like loads of little monsters.
Yeah, and there'd just be like other little games. It was good, and just Gods of Ragnarok. Oh, Davros. What was Terry Malloy on the set of Revelation in the Davros mask?
Yeah, he's just there
with a cup of tea. I love that. I
love this soundboard they had of like all the theme tunes cut up, but they're like have a certain sound, and you could make your own little theme tune. That was great.
And on the main Doctor Who site there was the trailer maker
and the comic maker as well.
Oh, the comic maker never could get to work.
Really?
I think this is what got me into editing and why I like editing. It was the video maker and make a little series trailer, episode trailer, and it was always like the little sound effects. So. We were watching Sounds of the Library in our group, and I was, hey, who turns out the lights? That sound effect is just ingrained in my memory because
for me,
of the sound clips.
It's Father Pompeii when he's like, come with me, and that's how I would start the trailer. Every trailer would be that.
I would, yeah.
And that's how I'd start that. That's how I'd start the trailers.
You don't get shit like this anymore.
You don't. Like, the website's non-existent. I don't go on the website anymore.
No. See, this is the problem. Kids will use that website or do an app for the Doctor Who website. Because kids want Doctor Who games. Who want the Doctor Who games? That are the adventure games.
Yeah,
absolutely. And they came... Oh, and
they're
Victory
the
of the
best
Daleks.
games they've ever done.
Yeah.
Best game.
Victory of the Daleks, the trailer at the end. Blew my mind. Doctor Who game actually looks decent,
and it's free.
Yeah, exactly. You know? So I think the Doctor Who website, do some more games, not Skype shit. Hire a company, do some proper mini games, do an app. Kids will love it. Kids love iPads. Every kid, in my family, has an iPad. Like you're 4. What do you need an iPad for?
Or we get something really stupid like that Weeping Angel Dalek cross gun, where you had to have an app to use that thing. You know?
That was so shit. I still have that.
I got it in Home Bargains.
Oh, my mum got from Home Bargains for Christmas.
I wouldn't pay any full price.
It's a nice little... I like the Weeping Angel finger inside.
It's just cheap.
It's okay.
Me, my routine on a Saturday was Doctor Who Confidential. Like that was my routine up until Series 6. And that was kind of my real exposure to classic Who, because that was the first time. The Dalek one, that's ingrained in me. Like I am very nostalgic to Confidential.
Yeah, and the Dalek one, because I remember it from the Ultimate Guide, the big supercut. It's got and it shows like the Daleks from like Power and to Jamie.
And it's got like the
Ben, Polly. Meet the Daleks.
And you've got like the Imperials just moving across.
Yeah, and then you go into the Daleks conquer and destroy, and then when Revelation gets blown up, that was a special compilation.
And then it cuts to like Genesis with them like literally killing their sons.
Yeah, that was horrific. That was amazing. No, it wasn't horrific to watch the child. That was amazing. That was like the best thing ever. Just seeing people just get blown away by a Dalek.
I think that was the first time I was actually genuinely scared by the Daleks, because it just goes on for so long.
Yeah, it goes on. It's amazing, and the way that it opens up, it's sort of like the black and white shot from Dalek, and then you see like the toys in Power of the Daleks go past.
And on the conveyor belt.
Yeah. Oh, that was amazing. In the Ultimate Guide, that was my bread and butter. That, because I don't think I watched much of Confidential in 2005 at least. I always watched it in 2006.
The Ultimate Guide is basically the Confidentials all cut into one.
Yeah, it's not the shit Ultimate Guide from 2013.
Yeah,
it is the 2005 one. It was broadcast before Parting of the Ways.
Presented by the person who does Van Staten.
No, it was Simon Pegg.
Was it? I swear he did. I swear Van Staten.
He did do a few actually, but it was Simon Pegg for the Ultimate Guide. His voice is just ingrained in me, and then just the quotes. Oh my god, that Dalek compilation, it shows the Dalek Invasion at 1250 AD, and I was like, I know that one.
Yeah.
All just so special, and the way that it, what absolutely captured me was when you see the Doctors, and Tom comes on, Fat Tom, Fat Tom in like 2003 to 5. That is the greatest Tom Baker.
The best is QVC when he's seeing like the Product Enterprise Tom and just going, I'm on DVD now.
Yeah.
You know?
Fat Tom was so joyful. 90s Tom was like depressing humour that you appreciate now.
I'm gonna die soon.
Yeah, like Who on Earth is Tom Baker? The documentary of it. It's literally just Tom in a fucking graveyard.
Yeah.
But I think 2000s Tom, loving life. He's mellowed out a bit in his old age, but now that Tom, it's unmatched. High off Little Britain. I think that gave him his ego.
That was kind of his resurgence back into the public.
Yeah. And I always remember him he was very distant talking about the Doctor. He's an enigma. I always remember that. It's an enigma. And then you show the compilation of the Doctors, and then Tom from Talons pulls out the dove, and I was like, fuck me. Troughton running.
I always remember Troughton in the Invasion when he's getting shot by the Simon and he's grabbing his arse. He's like, That's my favourite.
He's an alien from the planet Gallifrey. I always remember McCoy saying that, I'm pretty sure. And then, Clayton Hickman. This is why I love how he describes Eccleston, but he's like the innocence of Peter Davison. The gracefulness of Paul McGann.
Yeah.
So the wildness of Colin Baker. Just these little things that he compares Eccleston to, and Clayton Hickman. Underrated moment of his. It's my favourite moment of his. Fluff. It was just magic. I'm watching this when I get back. The Ultimate Guide. I watch that all the time. And the countdown, Parting of the Ways, and then on my videotape, it was Parting of the Ways afterwards, and I watched that.
Did Parting of the Ways destroy you?
What, as a kid?
Yeah.
No.
It destroyed me because I was like, why is this bloke changed? Yeah, I'd seen clips of the other Doctors.
You're like 2 years older than me, aren't you?
Yeah. I was 7.
Yeah, I was 5. So me, I knew what regeneration was. I knew that Doctors changed. I was quite amazed to just see what it's like, though, because I don't think I'd watched the regeneration at that point.
That was our first, proper regeneration.
And Tennant was amazing. And it was just...
No, because I just got so attached to Eccleston. Yeah. Like, I couldn't watch the Christmas Invasion. 7's
when you become fussy with Doctor Who, I think. That's I think you just become a bit of a fussy child about 7. That's when you're like obsessed over like the little things with like your figures and stuff like that, true. And what's going on with the show, because I think Series 3 was like the first one I was quite critical of back in the day.
I don't know. I've never really been properly critical about the show. I guess it was kind of Series 8 when I started to become a bit like critical.
I've always been a fussy shit, so.
No, I've just kind of just enjoyed the show for what it is.
Yeah.
I kind of still live by that, really.
That's fair. You're like the light, I'm like the fussy bastard.
I guess so. I'm the positive one. In a way. Thing I would do, I would literally tape every episode.
I think my granddad taped me the whole thing. Do you know what? I think he did tape me the whole series because I'm watching the Gelth.
I think I videoed Doctor Who right up until Beast Below.
Oh damn!
And then we had the digital switch over.
Oh my god! Series 5 on a video. Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting to watch, wouldn't it? Videotape. Yeah. It's always been a rumour that Series 1 was released on a limited video run. I see people.
That's Nick Briggs' pension.
Yeah, I know
That's that.
Nick Briggs probably has it, to be honest.
Yeah,
if it's
because he was involved within it quite a lot.
He has the original cut of Rose, and it's got I think it's like Britney Spears Toxic over the beginning instead of Westminster Bridge because the opening was going to have Britney. And
I think it's got the nesting going Time Lord. Like it's very muffled in the actual.
It says Time Lord, but they cut it because didn't they? It felt it was a bit too grandiose, didn't they?
I think they just edited it a bit so it's like.
You can kind of make it out.
Yeah, you can make it out. But I just think they've just headed.
Yeah, I think they wanted him to be a lower down Dr. Eccleston, which I think really helped. I think that's why Eccleston's still my favourite.
That helped with the Clive bit because if you had, Hart or whatever, you'd be like
absolutely
you'd lose that whole mystery around.
Yeah, because RTD he wanted to include every Doctor, and I'm very glad he didn't. Thematically and visually, he has fun with it in the Rose book.
I think he takes it too far in the Rose book.
A little bit with like all the alternate dots and stuff like that. I think it would have been just. I think stopping at Tennant, I think would have been fine. I think it's just 11, 12 Capaldi. That's why I didn't fit War Doctor in there. Is Jodie and the future Doctors, but it makes you wonder. It makes you appreciate that scene a bit more that they simplified it. It both fits thematically and both for the viewer. Because it gives some mystery behind Eccleston, especially if he's comes straight from Titanic bit. Yeah.
And then you've got him right by Krakatoa.
Isn't there like another line? And it's like it hugged an iceberg.
Yeah, that was Titanic.
Yeah, and there was a little. I think Eccleston himself said that. I think. And it was like a nice.
That was Unquiet. No, not Unquiet Dead. End of the World with Jabe.
Yeah. I always remember that, and I just think all the JFK. Horrific
Photoshop. You've got like him literally red circle.
I like that.
Yeah.
A lot of Doctor Who stories around JFK. Read Who Killed Kennedy. Very, very good. You find out who actually killed Kennedy.
Yeah.
Give it a read, man.
I'll give it a go.
Poetry Bible. And I think just the different art forms, just the photograph, the other.
I like the drawing.
The drawing was very, very good.
It's interesting that he's got the polo neck in the photos.
Oh, does he?
Like the unused costume where you see Eccleston either in the Victorian get.
Oh yeah, because he was gonna turtleneck, wasn't he? I quite like him in the 8th Doctor outfit.
Well,
was it originally? Do you know in the Titanic photo?
Yeah.
With the Danielson family.
Was that regenerated?
Yeah. Was it meant to be
the flood?
I reckon it was. You
do.
This is like a nice little thing. I think.
Little fairy.
Yeah.
This is an exclusive.
Is he in a long coat?
Yeah, it's a long. He's with the top hat though, isn't he?
Can we just put a top hat on?
Yeah. Other lives come again.
Yeah. Other lives come again. Yeah. I reckon that was meant to be a bit of a regeneration thing.
You think that? Well, to be fair, the War Doctor is very recent.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have got away with that.
Fuck the War Doctor. I still don't like the War Doctor. John Hurt, lovely actor, lovely man. I just don't like him. I just don't like him as the Doctor. I think the War Doctor is just a bad concept. Because you already had Tennant for the new fans. The mystery was underwhelming because everyone fucking knew who John Hurt was anyway. So why not just do McGann? Market him as the 8th Doctor, as the Doctor that never was. Who gives a shit? It's like everyone knows he was in the TV movie. The TV movie we know is canon. Just to be like the Doctor that never got a chance. The mystery Doctor, the Doctor we know nothing about, even though he has like a million books and audios. It's like that.
There's no connection with John Hurt. Like there's no attachment.
And he was never going to come back.
No.
Ever. It doesn't matter if McGann's come back because he's already a Doctor.
Yeah.
Like John Hurt was never going to come back, and I knew that from the outset, and I was pissed off all the way through.
Well, you think he was 75 when he did that?
Exactly.
So, like, he's not going to be around for this.
And there's not even a story you can do.
No.
Absolutely. Oh.
And I feel like he's the biggest mistake of the new series.
I think,
You say?
honestly,
Do you agree with that?
I would be honest, I think it's the biggest mistake in Doctor Who history.
Gosh, that's a bit
Other than like cancellations and shit like that. But
no, I think cancellation did the show a world of good.
Yeah, it did do cancellation. Yeah, and it's like when
Controversial, I know.
And I think talking about, we mentioned season 26 in our Q&A a little bit, and season 27, you know, I was thinking in the back of my mind, you know, well, you never know, wouldn't have got TV movie.
It's kind of like a happy accident, I think that's what it is.
And I think the War Doctor was unnecessary, made by Moffat because Moffat was going to leave in the Christmas special, wasn't he? For
it made sense for him.
Time of the Doctor. I remember reading little, I think he mentioned it a few times, meant to leave.
I think if Matt stayed, he would have stayed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very much his Doctor.
And lots of Series 8 scripts were written for Matt anyway.
Definitely.
And the ideas were written for Matt anyway. And it was just an unnecessary thing so he could bump up the generation count. Just go, oh, Tennant counts. No one counted Tennant. Tennant was a stupid thing. Half of a generation that was.
But saying that though, you had the stupid stuff in like Angels Take Manhattan, where is that regeneration? Is that half a life?
Exactly. It's inconsistencies. It's even inconsistent with their bloody error.
And you've got obviously which is familiar when he's just like, don't worry, I'll be a bit short later on in life.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Lost him his cock.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
No.
Not that big 12-footer that he carries around.
Oh, when oh gosh, in Extremis, when he's like, oh, I'm using some of my future regenerations eyesight.
Yeah.
To see. So is JD going to go blind later on? His anniversary was very much it set the show in the right direction, but he didn't need to do the regeneration stuff because
it's set in the right direction, but they done fuck all with it later on.
Yeah,
it adds a mystery that they absolutely done nothing with. This is supposed to be how we got into Doctor Who, but this, I guess.
No, but this is kind of the progression of where our love and how it kind of changed over the years.
Because
our journey.
Because I think that you get fussy with it.
Yeah.
I think it was around.
Because you fell out of love
when I got into Batman March. I got critical of Doctor Who, and then Series 6. I remember the hype around it, and I was so excited. And then Day of the Moon happened. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed Impossible Astronaut when it aired. I think it's shite now, but I really enjoyed it at the time. And then that was my first real, I think, that was one of the first second parters that just completely fucking I didn't like. Because things like Samson Library and Foster Dead, I didn't really like when it aired. I liked all the Cal stuff.
It's weird, I've always loved that.
Yeah.
As a kid, I just
it's
found
weird.
it very good.
I think it's always the more story-based ones. As a kid, I didn't really enjoy Midnight.
I just like the concept of it because literally, as a kid, you are scared of the dark.
Yeah. I think it took me a rewatch.
I walked in the dark.
I thought the cliffhanger was fab.
Oh yeah. That's another thing at primary school. With that, it was basically you could either write the next episode or you could write a next Doctor Who story.
Mm.
That was basically our English lesson. We're like, right, okay, Doctor Who's finished. You can either write the next episode or you can make your own story. I was the genius because how do you spell Dalek? I was like, well, I was just going to spell Dalek. I was like, you don't put an R in Dalek, you swine. No, don't do that.
Don't put a C in it.
No, they just have it or a Z. It's not Dazlek.
Dazlek.
No.
Oh my god! I remember it was after the Angel 2-parter in Series 5. Me and my friend, and he's like, "So what do you think of that line with River saying she killed the best man she ever knew?" And he's like, I think it's the Doctor. And I went, nah, you're talking shit, mate. It's not the Doctor. Series 6, it's the Doctor. I was like, you're bloody kidding me.
It kind of fascinated me with her when he said, oh, he turned up on my door with a brand new suit. I was like, is Tennant going to get a new suit? Is he going to get a red suit? I always imagined him having a red suit.
I'm like, yeah. I always kind of imagined it was a future Doctor, but it was very, I think we were so, I think as a kid, years go by so slowly.
I was in denial that Tennant was going to go.
For 10 years. Yeah. And at that point he was the Doctor.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was going, what?
I didn't feel like Tennant was going.
Exactly. I knew that Tennant was regenerating in 2010.
See, you missed one of the best confidentials ever.
I didn't know that Matt Smith was the next Doctor. I didn't know who it would be. And I missed that, and it wasn't until after I think they uploaded the clips onto YouTube.
The thing is, though, with that, you could see the footage, well, not footage, but photos of them filming the Angel 2-parter.
I saw it after.
You saw it after?
I saw it after.
I remember, coming back from home and it was on the radio saying, the new Doctor, Matt Smith, has started filming on Cardiff Bay.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I think I was just not very observant. I think I flicked through, Doctor Adventures.
Well, what was, the logo change? Did you see that? Yeah. The big changes?
I think I saw it when they uploaded the theme.
Well, you're just like Donna, just in Spain.
I was completely Donna.
You just missed all of that.
Yeah, the logo change. The first time I saw the logo was when, oh my god, it might be when they uploaded the bloody theme.
Really?
Oh god, yeah, it might have been a bit before.
No, you would have seen in the Series 5 trailer.
Yeah,
on.
That was it. That was the first, and I remember New Year's Day.
What a day that was!
Oh,
like, what a night!
Because then Matt Smith appears. Do you know what? I think I watched it the day after End of Time on New Year's on the 2nd. Because I watched it. Yeah, it must have been because it was like, oh, the new Doctor. I was like, oh, fab! And that Series 5 trailer. I think it's one of the best trailers I've ever got.
I've watched that Matt Smith. You know when he's announced, he's like, oh, "I've got bags under my eyes." I was just so flabbergasted. I like it. He's just something. He looks like a thumb in that, doesn't he?
He does with his big hair.
But yeah, that trailer I got so excited for because you had the smilers. They look really creepy.
And it was very new, and I think you could tell. And it was the shot of him running, and he jumps over the a little fence, and then
the raggedy duck,
the phone box, and the little phone box, and then Sonic's,
and a new Dalek. I thought it was the Imperial Daleks coming back. I thought, remember the Daleks is amazing.
Great. That was my thought as well. And the music. Do
you remember Down the Rabbit Hole? That was February.
That was one of the second trailer.
That's what Series 11 needed, right?
That I think.
And then the burst of the Silurian head, like
Down the Rabbit Hole. Maybe the best Doctor Who trailer we've ever got because it was so different and it really cemented Moffat style because I love the Series 1.
It matches the fairy tale stuff because it's very whimsical.
Yeah, I love the Series 1 stuff with like, do you want to come with me?
Yeah.
That's perfect for that era. But I think that I really love Down the Rabbit Hole because it's so different. Because it makes you trust that Doctor immediately, and then it gives you a taste for the art.
Because Amy goes, trust. Like Dog's like, oh, trust me. It's like, why? Pushes her, and then the angel's like there, and he's wrestling it. I just like that.
And then you see the Dalek.
Yeah, it's like, stay your idea.
I remember the discussions in the comments for what the thing was, and I think people who had saw the set were like, that's a Silurian. I was like, bullshit. But see, the modern Silurians, that should have been their face, the mask. Because it makes no sense for a reptile to look like a bloody human.
They missed the third line.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the initial designs for them.
Yeah, because
Chibnall didn't like him.
Bloody hell.
That was Chibnall. Saying, I want them human.
No, I don't like that because I think even scientifically they'd be too different. They wouldn't even be the same race. Because
I think that's what they are.
Different.
They are a different branch.
Yeah, if I was showrunner, get them. I'd say all the human ones got killed off. They were little experiments by bonding it with ape DNA.
Yeah, but it'd be kind of like that purity of Daleks. Like, oh no.
I think absolutely bang. I think that's perfect for those Silurians. Oh my god, just deviating a bit back. Cybermen. Rise of the Cybermen. Because I knew of the Cybermen, but obviously I knew more of the Daleks because the Cybermen were never marketed much. The only things I knew about the Cybermen were maybe a few little shots, 10th planet, when you take off the thing and chop the man.
I saw Revenge. Revenge was my
Revenge. I think the only thing for me was in Dalek as well.
What was in the head?
Yeah, seeing the head and it was like a Cyberman because I knew the Cybermen. I think I had like I might have got the toy before then. And I remember my dad telling me of the Cybermen. I was like, oh, the Cybermen. I was like, they're the master in Series 7. Series 5. Series 3. 3.
That's
7.
the thing.
I feel like a nan with many grandchildren.
Yeah.
Oh, 7, 5, 3. Yeah.
That's the thing with Confidential. You would never want to miss the big monster one.
Yeah, because that was always showing up the history
of the clips. Because I remember seeing 10th Planet and just being so terrible.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
And even when they did Gridlock, they showed clips of Macroterra.
Yeah.
And that was so cool because I think Russell really made a big deal about it, going, this was him growing up, and you really could relate to Russell.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that he's kind of Stan Lee, because he kind of has that Stan Lee feeling.
I think he is kind of the Stan Lee to us, in a sense, because he was that kind of personal link of... I still think
he would link his childhood to us.
Absolutely, I think RTD is still one of the greatest showrunners Doctor Who's ever had, because he had completely off... out of like Verity Lambert and Sidney Newman, he had that absolute hardest job of bringing it back and convincing the public. And it's still the best marketing Doctor Who's ever got, the best like merchandise selection.
Better billboards.
Absolutely better billboards. The billboard for this year was shit because they should have gone with the one with Jodie.
Just a generic poster.
Yeah, they should have gone with the one with Jodie half dabbing. I'm sorry, I don't really like the artist. I'm sure you're a fantastic artist, for the current billboard, but it's a horrible piece of art. It makes her look very old, but yet she's a very youthful Doctor, and the marketing it oozes that. Yeah, why didn't you put that? That was a last minute BBC head decision that, oh no, let's go with the darker one, it looks more moody. No, it looks fucking shite. But yeah, it's Rise of the Cybermen, because I knew it was a Cybermen story, and the teasers all the way through when they take the homelessman. And do you remember the attack on the house, and Tennant looks out of the thing?
Yeah, it's just a fog.
I recognise them. Cybermen.
And then just...
Yeah, that was fantastic. You know, I get the feeling if that was like made in the triple R, I think it would. I don't know. I think it would have been a more impactful cliffhanger if you just went Cybermen and marched forward. Cliffhanger.
No, I like it because then you've got the whole.
It shows them what they can do.
Yeah. And he's like, "What if I refuse? Then you will be deleted."
I love that. I love that. The 10-minute cut of just repeatedly of "What if I refuse?" I think that's.
But I like that because it just shows the chaos is happening in this house, and they're like, "You can't do anything. You just got to go." And then you just surround them, and obviously, you know, the Doctor's got the crystal, and he's just like, "How are they going to get out of it?" Because you really believe that this is it.
Yeah, I like the design. I think it works for parallel Cybermen, not our universe. Our universe should be a bit more.
They're great up until Doctor Falls because they've just been wheeled out at the proms, Doctor Who Live, Toys R Us.
I'd be honest, I think it was complete crap during like the Matt Smith era, to be honest.
Alright, in corroded form.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I do like the Pandorica one.
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of felt like a bit trotting along. But of course, the costume's so beat up now. Hate the new Cybermen. One of my very early unmade videos in 2000.
I'm sorry, but I really disagree with that.
Oh,
I really like the Nightmare in Silver Cybermen.
Too robotic. I think they should be a bit more.
I didn't like them in Nightmare in Silver because they were just so impossible. But literally, once they're done, like.
And that's Neil Gaiman. Like, he's a fantastic surreal writer, but he's not scientific Doctor Who. Because he goes for the limitations being pushed, yet he's pushing the wrong limitations.
I wanted that as a two-parter. It was a two-parter, but it never happened because of Moffat's grand vision of Series 7. But Baby Colour was great. He was very much a big part of me discovering Classic Who, yeah.
With me, 2008, 8th Doctor. Time War. He done the Time War, and I still think his Time War was the best version of the Time War I've ever saw.
This is new.
Yeah, that fucked me as a kid. So I remember asking my mum in the car, and I was like, say if like you had like a sample of somebody's voice, could you then use it to make your voice sound like somebody else?
Like a voice change.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's still the I think best representation of the Time War with Biblical, because he gets the scale down, and I think the use of the ships from Starship Troopers, I really like them because I don't really like them. I think the new series Flying Saucers, I don't know, I think they just annoy me a little bit. I kind of prefer the Remembrance, big chunky ship.
That's what I remember it now. I remember seeing Blood of the Daleks being advertised in TV Guide. Right? And I thought, Time War. Went on, I was so disappointed. It's like, where are they?
Yeah.
Where are they?
I remember there was that in the Big Finish frequently asked questions. Will you do Time War audios?
Yeah.
No. You have to get special rights just to use the new series Daleks.
Later on, we're just like, please don't do any more.
Yeah.
Stop. I thought the Christmas Invasion would have been a Time War story.
Really?
As a kid, I thought it was going to be Time War.
Bloody hell. Master Rumour started for Series 8 with Capaldi. I said no, because I was like, I think he would fit the Rani better. And the Missy, it became introduced.
Everyone wanted Missy to be the Rani, let's be honest.
Yeah, everyone. I still think Missy should have been the Rani because I think it suits Capaldi for being a different kind of villain. Because his era was a little bit different, a little bit unique. So I think it would have been better. Because it was the Master Rumours, I think, started before even Missy appeared, and then it was like, oh, connect them.
People wanted Charles Danton, you just saw Charles Danton, Capaldi working.
I know.
That's the thing.
But then I just thought more of the Rani and stuff like that. I've always wanted, like, as a kid, the Rani fascinated me. It's why I got Mark of the Rani in, like, 2010.
I think he's more of an interesting character than the Master.
I think due to the mystery, yeah.
I feel like because the Master's literally set out for one thing, which is world domination. The Rani's just using things for her own advantage. She's a biochemist.
Yeah, I think that's what makes her an interesting character. But in terms of motivation,
I feel like she's more of a Doctor equal in a way. Because she's more on that science level, whereas, you know, with the Doctor and the Master, it's kind of, I'll see you next week, I've undone your trap, you know, but, you know, it's kind of that, isn't it? It's kind of that they have a bit of fun with each other. They don't want to kill each other.
Yeah.
They just want to try and, outdo each other.
I think in 2010, I really wanted the Zygon figure, because and then I watched Terror of the Zygons, and then we went to Toys R Us to try and find the Zygon. Wasn't there, but you know what I came around with? Time Crash set.
Hey.
And of course it was the blue version.
Yeah.
That's why I like that costume for Matt Smith a bit better.
See,
this figure.
I've just got such a...
Not Time Crash set, 11th hour set.
Yeah.
You know the one exactly.
Yeah, the Crash set.
Crash set, yeah.
I mean, I just think back to the golden days of like Saturday. Saturday was a brilliant day as a kid, because I'd go out shopping, I'd either get a figure or a DVD to watch for the weekend. And if I remember getting the Three Doctors, and what else did I get? Three Doctors and another story, and I got the Mutant Reveal Dalek and the Autumn Twin Pack. My weekend was sorted.
Yeah, I always remember Woolworths and
Woolworths was a brilliant shop.
The Blackpool exhibition, because I always guilt them. Just like, well, you brought me here.
Yeah.
Might as well I remember getting Chip and Cassandra being absolutely made up. I was made up as a kid with that.
No, I'd just be so sad.
Cassandra, she's been on many adventures.
Oh,
I really liked Chip as a kid for some reason.
I just thought it was a very basic figure.
Yeah, it was very basic. I don't know why I bought it. I never got any Series 3 figures. I think they bored me.
Series
I wanted
3.
the Scarecrow, but...
I've got vivid memories of Series 3 figures, because I went on a school camp, and I hate camping.
Yeah.
Despite being a country bumpkin, I hate camping.
Yeah.
And, it was hell. Being away from home, and it's like, I want to be with my Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah.
I come home on, like, Saturday, and I got Martha, the Jadoon captain, and the Jadoon trooper, and Lineth.
Yeah.
And I think, what episode was airing about the time? I think it was Blink. Blink was airing that night.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, bugger Blink. I'm going to be playing with these. Yeah. And that was kind of when Series 3 kind of going. And Toys R Us. Toys R Us was a big thing. Because we actually had the big display.
Yeah, we had that in ours.
And we had the Cybermen with the light up eyes.
Oh.
And just, you'd walk in and you'd have like the music playing, and you'd have like a little screen. The episodes playing. Very nice.
I just remember like the wall of figures. Woolworths, packed $6.99. God, I wish it was still that.
Woolworths was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic with toys. And even the classic figures, I think, are everywhere back there, because I remember searching for them, and I was so stressed because I couldn't find the Earth Truck Salmon. Even Marks and Spencer stocked them.
Really?
I remember looking on the Marks and
Spencer I remember Marks and Spencer's having exclusive figures.
Oh dear, jam.
Yeah, they had like an exclusive Dalek set, but the only difference was the packaging. That was the only difference.
What's the difference?
Just said M&S.
Oh.
That was it, it just said M&S.
Fancy bought that.
Oh, so somebody's got that somewhere.
Yeah, packaged.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Little variant, I think.
Yeah, another two.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just a lot happened.
A lot
back
happened
in those days.
I feel like because back then Doctor Who was really cool.
Yeah.
Everyone liked Doctor Who. Everyone was reading Doctor Who books.
Bounce off.
And I feel like we don't have that now.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like for kids getting into the show now, because I think we hope that it would be that kind of RTD revival. I don't think it has been.
I think it'd be interesting to see how it's captured kids' imaginations. My niece really doesn't like still that it's a female Doctor, so she's not watched it. She thinks sad because I think that's her end of Doctor Who, I think.
Yeah.
So I think she's at the age of in year 6 where transition over and to just normal stuff.
That was kind of.
I think that's quite sad.
Yeah.
Because she watched like all Capaldi and stuff, but still not watched any Jodie.
That's interesting. That you think Jodie would be more of a grab for her?
Yeah, exactly. I think she just liked Doctor as a guy. I don't know. She really liked Capaldi and weird. Because I was just like, why? Because I think Jodie's great. And I'm reading Doctor DWM, like, reading all the Jodie stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm just not fussed.
So, from the beginning, do you still have that same passion and love for the show, what you did back in 2003?
Yeah.
Do you feel like...
Completely.
Do you feel like it's kind of dwindled over the years, or...?
It dwindles. Series 6, kill me off. I watched it still every week, just out of necessity, so I could say that I'd watched it.
Yeah.
I'd have these conversations with my friend in high school, and just be like, I'm literally just watching it just to say I was there.
Yeah.
And say I've watched most of them live. And I was like that for Series 7 Part 1. Did not give a single shit when Amy and Rory left.
It was a very bad episode in general.
It was a very bad episode. I remember thinking Power 3 was alright, but I hated that.
Power
I was like, I think it made intrigue peaked a little bit because I got there was the Sound of the Daleks, and the poster was like, oh, and then it happens. I was like, nah, fuck it, I'm going back. Going back, and I got heavy into Star Wars and Star Wars lore, and like the Star Wars expanded universe, and like Star Wars Legacy, and all the fucking Darth Revan shit, and just all that shit, and that's just what I went into, and I think the specials, Christmas specials, I was embarrassed to watch them. I walked out the room with Doctor the Wisdom and the Wardrobe. I still have never completed it. I have no interest in doing it because it's just shite. He'll die at the end. So I think it was towards the 50th year I got back in. I think Batman March maybe was doing a few interesting ones. Yeah. It's weird because I remember keeping up with Batman March's stuff.
Batman March
being absolutely hooked.
That was the thing. Batman March every Saturday would either be a trailer would drop or a figure adventure, and that would be your Saturday morning. Like that's the first thing I'd do when I wake up.
Even when I wasn't interested in Doctor Who, I was still watching Batman March, and that was like my show.
Okay.
Batman March, and trying to like the Golgotha and like that little trailer.
With like literally audio teasers of like Dalek Contagion and
that's fantastic.
8th Doctor Series 2.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I always remember the Beast of Stockbridge.
That was a brilliant figure adventure.
Yeah, it was very good. And the Master Twist.
Yeah.
It was very, very good.
Very good.
My first one of his, maybe in Star of Stefano, or the Dalek one.
My first was Return of the Sea Devils.
Return of the Sea Devils. That was a class. I still think his first two were absolutely amazing.
Brilliant.
What's the Dalek one?
Which Dalek? Fear of the Daleks?
Fear of the Daleks, that was it.
Yeah, with the Vok robots. That's another one.
Yeah, it was with the Vok robot, yes, the Vok robot. That was a nice little...
Yeah.
He liked to use every figure, I think. And I liked his pairings. 4th Doctor with the Sea Devils, 5th Doctor with Zygons. I thought that was really good.
I really liked the 5th Doctor Parry vampire story.
Yeah. With it's a Dracula, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was very good.
It's good to enjoy.
I really love the Autumn one. The 6th Doctor. Symbiosis, that's it. Beautiful. I even made
Brigadier and Colin. That was a big deal for me as a kid.
I even made my own little Tenant Autumn, and I cut the hand in half, so it would be the proper.
Proper. Well, the Autumn toys never had that. Well, the new series ones anyway. But so to kind of wrap it up, you're 30 years older, so say you're like 50 or whatever. Do you think you still have the same love and passion you have for Doctor Who? Do you think it's always going to be a part of you?
Yeah.
I think you're always going to be a fan.
I've got too much shit to get rid of.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. I feel like we're too deep into Doctor Who now. We can't say goodbye.
I think eventually, as you get older and you have kids and stuff, you'll find a new love for it because you can show them and you can morph them, and you can
start
your cabinets
of JArkhamReviews and Post of 11 Generation 2.
I know, yeah. I think we should do a video. I don't know, like 10, 15 years. With them. So what do you think of Doctor Who?
There we are, that's parenting done right.
Yeah, that's parenting done right. I always like to see. Yeah, it's very good stuff.
Yeah, so that's where I think that Doctor Who is far too ingrained with us. I feel like
completely.
We've been through some shit.
Yeah.
And I think,
it helps.
Yeah. It makes you appreciate your love and where you're beginning, because I think nostalgia is a great thing, but don't be blinded by it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Because even I think you should always be critical. Always be critical of what you watch. I rarely like the people who very fair with Series 11, but weren't afraid to critique it, because I think it wasn't. It was. I really enjoyed Series 11. I would say I really loved a lot of the stories. But I found them
improve.
Yeah, exactly, because when people think, I didn't see that about the Moffat era. This is the problem, I think, with a lot of Big Finish fans as well. They don't critique it, and it's always I always see the same people. Certain Facebook group. That doesn't allow criticisms because
we got blocked out.
Got blocked out of that one.
That's another story.
It's another story. Yeah, Nick's a part of this group. Not allowed to criticise. Well, how else are things going to get better? And I think that's why Big Finish have got the economy off.
If Chibnall doesn't have that feedback of Series 11, we're going to get more of the same, and we don't want that.
I think that, and he doesn't want to listen to wrong people, wants to listen to the right ones. I've really enjoyed Vote Saxon 07's criticisms. Jenny Queen of Sonic was actually really fair with it.
I think she's the best because she literally gives no toss.
Yeah.
She's like, this is my opinion. I'm just going to leave you to argue. I'm not getting involved. See you later.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. because I think most of my reviews are positive, besides Arachnids in the UK, because that's in the early episode I didn't like. But always be critical of what you watch. Never be a sheep. Even what you listen to, like audios.
Yeah, I
and stuff.
feel like if it is a
Feedback.
childhood thing, you know, you can always think back to that, how wonderful that first experience was, and nobody's going to take that experience away from you. But yeah, I feel like now, you know, you can just be as critical as you want.
Yeah. Don't try and ruin something for someone.
No.
Like, I love this back in the day.
I
Oh no,
feel-
that shit. This is why. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's like people slagging Tennant. You know, he was my Doctor.
Yeah.
He was-
And
he was
thematically,
Archer.
there's some good stuff in there.
He was the face of Doctor Who. It might have been for a short amount of time, but as a kid, that felt like a very long time.
Absolutely.
So I feel like as a fan base now, we need to come back together and learn to respect each other, because right now we don't have that.
And facts.
Yeah, we actually need, you know, just all come together and just not fight over petty things.
Yeah, and stop. And you know, actually, it's just don't change the facts to alter your views.
Yeah,
Alter your views for the facts. I think that's
a fair point.
a fair
I
point.
think that's a good point.
Yeah, I think always be critical. Always be fair. Always be kind.
I never eat pears.
Oh god, what a fucking line. But yeah, is there any more stuff?
I think that's it. I just think go forward in all your beliefs.
Prove to me, prove to us,
But
to we were never mistaken in mind.
Yeah.
Goodbye, viewers.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
my dear.
ideas.